And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at Sushi Go. Now, I have already actually taken a look at Sushi Go twice. I did a paid preview of it, and then a year ago, when Adventureland Games came out with their version of it, my daughters and I did. I took a look at it, especially from their perspective. Well, I continue to play this with my kids. This is the new Gamewright version, so I want to talk about this. This may be the first time you've seen it, in which case I'll explain how it's played, because it's very simple, but I also like to tell you how my perceptions of this have changed as I've played it over the past year quite a bit. In this game, players are going to be drawing from a deck of cards, and there's going to be 3 rounds in a game, and in each round you'll be drawing a certain number of cards depending on the number of players. 2, 10 cards, 3, 9, 4, 8, and 5 players would get 7 cards each. What you'll do is you'll take a look at the cards in your hand, you will choose one, all players will reveal it at the same time, you'll pass the cards to your left, then you'll choose another card and keep going till all the cards are in front of you. You will then score those cards, discard those, and continue on. What do the different cards do? Well, tempera cards by themselves are worth nothing, but if you have 2 of them, they're worth 5 points. So 3 would be 5 points, 4 would be 10 points, etc. Sashimi cards are the same thing, except you need 3 of them, and then they're worth 10 points. Dumplings are a little bit different. By themselves, they're worth 1, 2 or 3, 3 or 6, 4 or 10, and 5 are 15. Then we have nigiri cards. Egg nigiri is worth 1 point, but salmon is worth 2 points. Squid is worth 3. But if you play a wasabi card before you play one of these cards, then the next card you do is times 3. So you could get 9 points if you play wasabi and then squid nigiri. Maki rolls, they don't score points by themselves, but whoever has the most of them is going to get 6 points. Second most will get 3 points. And the number is up in the corner, so you can see here I have 7 rolls. And boy, these are delicious. And then finally, we have, well, actually 2 more things. First, we have chopsticks. They're worth 0. But if you take chopsticks on another turn, you can put the chopsticks back in your hand and take 2 cards rather than 1. And then finally we have puddings. Puddings are not scored at the end of a round. They stay in front of you. They are not scored until the end of the game, in which case whoever has the most puddings is going to score 6 points, and whoever has the least puddings is going to score negative 6 points. Whoever has the most points after 3 rounds is the winner of the game. Sushi Go is probably the lightest drafting game out there. Obviously, the biggest known drafting game at this point is 7 Wonders. There's Fairy Tale, and then there's more and more drafting is becoming a mechanism that people are using in games, and I think it's great. I love it. I think it's very fun to look at cards, to think about the one you want, but also think about what you're passing to the person. This game actually comes with some variants where you can pass in different directions, and I actually think that should be played that way. The simplicity of this one is really its drawing point. As much as I like Fairy Tale, and I think Fairy Tale is a great game, this one is so easy to teach people. This is one of the best gateway games I have. I can say, hey, I can teach it in a few minutes and everybody understands it. It's fun, entertaining, and plays quickly. Gamewright Games did a good job. You should know by now I'm not a huge fan of tins, but these small tins don't bother me as much, and I love the little cute artwork, and the whole sushi theme is something that works really well. This game has held up very well over the past year. I'm very pleased to have this in my collection, and it's a very simple game to get into. This review is probably longer than some games of it. So I highly recommend this. I think it should be in anyone's collection. Even if you are a deep, hardcore gamer, this is kind of an easy relief type style game, or one that you can introduce. You play with mom, play with dad, play with the kids, play with anybody, and it's always good to have those kind of games on hand with a very innocuous, simple, cool, funny little theme that I think will please pretty much anybody, even those who might hate eating sushi, and you should like it because it's delicious. Anyway, that's Sushi Go.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at coolstuffinc.com.
Shut the door!
Shut the door!